Yes, today we are in another edition of Emira TV. We thought the house is an engineer Thomas Osunde is the chairman of Nigeria's Federation of Engineers in Asaba. Today we will look at issues concerning engineering, the incessant collapse of national grids and electricity in Nigeria. So, engineer, let's meet you, sir.
Yes, my name is Engineer Ikechukwu Collins Osunde. I'm a fellow of the Nigerian Federation of Engineers. I'm also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers in Nigeria. I'm the parent branch chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Asaba branch. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Today, almost within this month, or within the month of November and December, we have heard of so much collapse of national grid. As an engineer, what do you think is responsible for this regular collapse of the system?
First of all, the grid. The grid is a network that collates or has a system linking with the transmission, distribution, and generation of electricity in any subsector. Now, over time, we notice that grids is supposed to be rebuilt or boosted to become better. But we have noticed that in Nigeria, our grid has remained static, has not expanded. Because you know that we have had our grid collapse for like this is the 12th time in the country. And people start wondering what is the problem. First and foremost, if you look at the grid, let's take a country like Germany now. Germany has a grid that is decentralized, where we have a centralized system, in the sense that everything that is generated is put into a central system and distributed around the country. While other countries have decentralized grids that will take care of different regions. For instance, when we were growing up, we heard of the coal in Enugu generates electricity.
Yes.
The dams also generated electricity.
Yes.
So that time we didn't have renewable forces. But by the grace of God now, we have come into the scientific era of renewable forces, which is the hydro, the bow, and the gas. In a system that is working properly, we are supposed to have decentralized our sources for the grid into those forms of electricity. But we notice that we just remained in just one place. And you know, a system that has run over a period of time, we have so many challenges. First and foremost, the equipment will become obsolete. If no proper forecast is done,
load on the grid. Then there is the force of frequency. Frequency is 60 Hz. At any time that frequency goes below 50 Hz, the grid must collapse. Because if there is an irregularity in frequency, it means that we will not be able to have a smooth running electricity network. Then, if you also look at it, we have noticed that in countries like Germany, we have gone inside through science and technology and research, and have been able to see how they can replace the old obsolete system with a local manufactured material. So in such a way, you don't need to over-depend on a grid that is overloaded all over the country. Now, will I have theft? We notice that because of hunger and man's greed, people will do anything to get money. We have noticed that the greed has been attacked in different areas, different sectors, particularly the restlessness in the north, different areas. I noticed that that is the area where the most of our generation comes from, because we have not been able to push up ourselves into the gas and the fossil fuels. That's why you put the gas and the fossil fuels from power generation. Now, if you see what's happening in Borno and the Kainji area of the power generation, you notice that almost all our energy have been vandalized. And once they are vandalized, there is no way you can have a complete circle of them. Now, that's that we are suffering against funding. you notice that government policies are not moving in the direction of seeing how this breed can move from its present state to a new state. Nigeria needs an average of 40,000 megawatts. But we generate just, they say in quotes, that we generate 6,000 megawatts. Yes, we say in quotes that we generate 6,000 megawatts. But we are very far away. We cannot transmit 3,000. And you notice that when the idea of, when the issue of power generation to the political sector, the first thing the politicians are after is the big boss. Not doing their own things. We're not thinking of how do we help this sector to grow. Imagine that your house, the generator that you have been running for 20 years, you expect to give the same output as the first day. Not really possible. That's why we need funding to upgrade, to scale up. Now, the transmission, distribution, and generation are the major keys of the grid. Any of this sector that is not functioning well would also be good. Now, for example, when you ask the transmission company, what is really the problem with the grid? You say that they are not generating enough. Generation will tell you they are generated 5,000 megawatts. Know what they are in Nigeria. Transmission will say what was generated to them and distributed. Now, on the distribution end, how many of these districts are distributing what they have? You notice that there is no sharing because some people are trying to see how they can get maximum use of power to while others are in darkness. And once you overload one part of the distribution sector, like the three line now, you notice that there's band A, band B, band C, and band C. And I noticed that everybody is on band A. Ordinarily, the system was evenly distributed so that at any point in time when load is being sent out, it's a balance. Now, if you move half of what is on the band to a full band, they will overload it and the grid is collapsed.
Sorry, let me come into that. From all you have said now, you are giving us the challenges. There are so many.
Yes.
Corruption and a lot of things. As an engineer now, what do you think is the way out?
Yes, the way out first of all is for government to allow professionals. So I noticed that it's not engineers that run the system. And by the collaboration with the government and the president of the investment here, engineer market, and now with the life NSC, we are trying to see how we can put the paper to government to allow engineers to redesign the grid. After you design the grid, allow us to install the design, commission the design, and feed Nigerians with the new things. But we notice that in the telecommunication sector, they allowed professionals who knew how it was supposed to be run. If you allow those round pegs, the round holes, the electricity generation will be perfect. But when you go to the businessmen, electricity run.
Now, you mean that the administrators of TCN,
Yes.
and maybe the ministry or how to say,
Yes.
is not run by engineers.
Now-
If it's not run by engineers, how can they do a good job?
Now, you see, when you come back, for instance, like you notice that appointments that given in this country are based on political settings. At the time in this country, the Minister of Works was a barrister. Yes, we had it 8 years in this country. Yes, a barrister was running works. At the time in this country, we had Minister of Power as a lecturer from one of these fields. It's of recent, it's this last administration that we have noticed that they have given professional treatment to professionals, but not professionals who are practicing in the field. Because TCN, if you go to TCN now, this is what the manager's name. You'll be hearing Mr. It's not engineer. Yes. Because the system has eroded like administrators, not the engineers, not the key policy stakeholders. So when you have a system where engineers are running the engineering business, you will not have them. Like for instance, We are in this premises now. The power icon in the areas. How close to governor, the past governor, to find poor. What did this come up from?
We noticed that we were spending so much on diesel in government offices. And after which, he asked for opportunities for companies to come and bid. And we noticed that engineers brought, the Ministry of Energy was saddled with that responsibility to bring up companies that would be able to give IPP, independent power plants, to the states that will power all government offices, power the SSG office, power the commissioner's quarters, the PS quarters, power the drug development agency, power the airports. Engineers sat down, they got a design, they got a scope. We told the government that for us to have the first phase, we must have an 8.5 megawatt power generating plant. The governor came into it. Stakeholders came to bid for it. Engineers came to bid for engineering firms that had reputable track records of power generation. They came to bid for it. And one of the companies was given the contract. We have a 5.5 megawatt gas generating plant. And we have a 3 megawatt backup. That 3 megawatt backup is should in case you want to do maintenance, overhauling. And for the past 3 years or so, I can tell you that we have had the best of that facility in Delta State, in Asaba, running. There's never a time we go to any of the government hospitals that are attached to that IPP that shut that there's no lights. There's never a time we go to the airport that there's no lights. And Insufficient, the governor, our present governor, Elder Sheriff Oberu, His Excellency, has seen that what has been done and has noticed that the engineers have ensured that this IPP has been run, maintained for a very long time, and he's seen the results. Has came into it and has said that another 10 megawatts design should be brought up so that citizens of Asaba can benefit from this. This is a decentralized system. The grid is failing. The state governments have decided their responsibilities to see how they can move to make sure that the citizens enjoy the benefit of democracy. That is government policy. So if government gives the right people, and I want to also put this in, that of recent, we have said states should domesticate the power generation. And by the special grace of God, 2 months ago, I presented the paper at the public hearing on the reasons why engineers should be the ones saddled with responsibilities to carry out the generation, because electricity is one of the biggest and the surest way of getting democracy to its people. Once there is light in the system, once there is electricity running in the system, there is no way a government can fail. Give the real dwellers 24 hours light. You will notice that the urban drift will stop. Because those who are running the cities are those who came from the urban, with the ideas, yes, from the rural areas. So, the Excellency has seen it. The public hearing that we had in the House of Assembly has gone to second reading and has been passed. We are waiting for the governor to domesticate this bill into act. And once it's done, you will notice that there will be a full change in the electricity sector.
Okay, now let's go to building collapse.
Okay.
We see that most times of the building collapse happen majorly in Lagos and very few Abuja. What do you think is responsible for this collapse so regular?
First and foremost, you know, every system has a process, but we notice that Nigeria, we always want to jump the gun. We always put the cart before the horse, looking for profits. You know, we don't put life first. We don't put service first. We don't understand what the culture of safety, service, reliability, and a good name. We push it to the corner because we want to just make money. Now, why did the building collapse? It's so unfortunate. that you will hear that a building that is under construction, not even completed, under construction, just collapses. We had one recently at the Interbourne roundabout. There was a 7-story building that was supposed to be coming up. And all of a sudden, woke up in the morning and we noticed that it collapsed. What was the problem? First and foremost, who are the designers of these buildings? If everybody comes out and says, I'm a builder, I can build. What are the qualifications that enables you to say, I can build? Is there anybody that just come and say, oh, please, I want to build a building? No. First and foremost, we have certified engineers who are certified by Koren, who are responsible for designing and implementation of design on construction of buildings. We notice that any Tom, Dick and Harry just comes up, lay a foundation without even knowing what the calculations, how the loads are being distributed evenly, what sizes of materials to be used, what are the quality of materials to be used. Now, these buildings, when they collapse, when we go to the site, you hold the block, it goes through your hand, turns to sand. The pillars are weak and ineffective. The rods that are being used are substandard and not supposed to be used for such designs. The last building that collapsed in Lagos was about 5 or 6 years old. It was a standalone building with other buildings. A vibration on the building. And it went down. We also heard some years ago a multinational and a big industrialist who was in Nigeria. They were doing a party at the topmost floor of his building. Topmost floor, I think it was the 14th floor. So they were doing a party there, and the building caved in. Yes, and everybody died. See the losses that we have had. When an engineer makes a mistake, the nation feels it. Every other profession, you will have just one loss, but an engineering's loss is more. And everybody will say, where's the engineer? Where's the engineer? Did you consult the engineer before you did that building? I'm not here to exonerate anybody, but was an engineer conducted? You check its certification status. Because one thing is to check an engineer. The other thing is to find out, is this engineer certified to build on this place? Then after which, the soil, the geotechnics of the soil. You check this soil if it will be able to carry on its own without any additives. 2 stories, 3 stories. There are some places that you cannot build more than a bungalow. Some places you cannot build more than 2 stories. But because Nigeria, we don't have these natural disasters, so anybody can just go anywhere and pick a plan and say, I want to put 3-story building here. Did you do a geotechnical survey of that building? Did you come out with a plan? And the town planners, because it has to do with every other thing, the town planners know the region where this can go up, this can go up. That a high rising building should be able to go up in this area. A normal 1-story building should be able to. So the planners of our environment are being involved.
Now, what checks is the head profession putting to get this nonsense? Thank you very much. The engineering monitoring team, YARE, was set up by Koren, these are the regulators of the and the team goes out regularly from time to time. Maybe from time to time when we are doing out one or two of our checks, you invite your firm, like and get coverage of this. We go out from time to time. We shut down buildings, but they see political influence in all these buildings. There are buildings that have been shut down, sealed. Please do not build. Why? Because notice that the plan given to us was a 1-story building. Only for us to come there and see that you are scaled up in a 3-story building. Yes, and we go there and we seal it up. Ordinarily, we're supposed to demolish. But because the government has not given us full power to demolish buildings, we go there, we take our findings, the engineers, and we take it to the monitoring team. We put the monitoring team in Delta State. We collaborate with them. We take our findings to them, tell them that this is what we have done. that these buildings in these areas are substandard and have failed or lied to us about their beautiful design. Please, take your mind straight. Most of the times, those buildings have been stopped. Or majority of the time, you see issues. The entire monitoring team is in all parts of Delta State. And from time to time, we will bring our activities to everybody so that they can see what we are doing.
Okay, and I ask you one question for you. One is now, what do you think, do you foresee a success, a breakthrough from the electricity matter and the building collapse? Do you foresee a breakthrough to where things can stabilize this nation?
Yes, I'm a very, very positive person. I believe in Nigeria. And I know that Nigeria is the best place for any man or woman to live. I small believe in my country that I know that if we sit down and plan, we'll have it right.
Now, for the electricity matter, we have noticed that everybody is now having a rethink on how power generation should be done. States are now building independent power plants, thereby removing the load from the grid. So you notice that in the next 3 to 5 years, majority of the states will have their own independent power plants, which will be powering major cities and industrial areas. So there's hope. Now, with the advent of the renewables, solar, wind, biogas, and gas, we notice that the diversification of the sources of electricity is moving. And we notice also that people are now sitting down and seeing how they can successfully plan a way to ensure that whatever they are doing, the proper forecast is done for the future. Now, for building collapse, we have noticed now that even the average man now understands that he must get a professional to do the work. And awareness programs have been created all over the country by Nigeria's fellow engineers and even Council for the Revolution of Engineering. Correct. So make people understand that you must have a professional to have your job done right. If you put a quack that has no certification, it's just like you now, you're a journalist, you're certified. Somebody who sees your work will say, yes, this is a work of a certified journalist. If you as a journalist see somebody who does something which is less, you will laugh and say, this person is not trained. The same thing is happening to our profession. People are now embracing the fact that professionals have to take professional responsibility off your buildings. You know, and so that you build a house 20 years after, you are still there.
Now, let me give you the last question. If you were the president of Nigeria, in a country like this, where there is electric power supply and the people are not working the way you are expected to work, and people are not going the way you want to do.
Now, what did the Obasanjo do to telecommunication? That's what I would do to power. Bring the genuine professionals into the field. If for instance, we allowed the NITEL system to run, we will not have telecommunication. We have 5G now because those who have the flair, the love, the passion to generate and to change things in the telecommunication sector, they're giving the right things. The president has to sit down and get the genuine experts. Now, we don't need to start going abroad to look for them. We have them all over and they have been trained very well. We have Nigerians who are doing massively well in other parts of the world in power generation. Bring these things to the table. Give them a timeline. Tell them this is what we want. Give them a focus table. Release funding and policies. That's what we do. And make sure that the policies that will enable these professionals to excel at this timeline. And within the shortest time, we will see. Because power is not something that we hide. No. Once that job is done, the result is there. As you can see what we are doing here. Once it's just like you have solar in your house. When you didn't have a house, you're running generator, you're waiting for NEPA. Immediately you have the right engineers coming to install your solar system or your biomass system or your gas power system. Within the next 24 hours, the result is there. You don't want anybody to say, we are waiting. No, electricity is something that you receive immediate results. You don't say, okay, let's wait for another thing. No, once the timeline is given, once the funding and policies that will enable the professionals to work, technical to work, is there, I bet you within 6 months, Nigeria will generate 4,000 megawatts of electricity. And it's not even electricity that they generate that will bite the no, because we are paying so much for fuel to run our business. We pay less for cleaner energy, a more friendly energy to run our systems. Okay, like the CNG gases, the CNG system. Sorry, I'm digressing a little. The CNG system, those who are using it in Lagos and Abuja are testifying to it. It's just like we are seeing that very soon the days of petrol will soon be a thing of the past. And that's how we just because the government also gave the nod, the policies, the funding, and the time limit for CNG gases to run, and you're seeing results. So if the government also sit down with the technocrats and give them a timeline, give them funding, because funding is paramount. Electricity generation in Nigeria must be funding, and give them policies that will help them enable the environment. I bet you in the next 6 months we have pure electricity, 24 hours running. Businesses will start thriving. And we notice that nobody will leave the country again, because you are going outside the country. Why? Because there's lights. That's basically the first thing. There's lights, and when there's light, like we are here now, you can sit down and draw a forecast. You think of a plan, you put it into a paper, you do a design, and we are there to implement it. So if you have electricity in 6 months, Nigeria's problem will be half solved.
Okay, again, thank you very much. Thank you for the audience. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much.
And for those outside there watching us, we are going to Engineer Toby for Sunday. They are going to talk about the issues surrounding the past grid collapse. No, but rather than the idea. They are talking about the grid collapse also in the nation. We are believing that we are going to gain something tangible from it. So as you listen to us, subscribe to us, share our page, and like, and more accountability. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I'm very grateful.